So, welcome everyone to the first of our Tuesday talks here. Welcome everyone to the first of our Tuesday talks here on the In Control Scotland YouTube channel. Today we have Dr Danielle Farrel, who's going to start off these talks under the heading of Being Danielle.
Yep. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's talk. So as Keith said, this will be a regular slot starting today. My slot will be the first Tuesday of every month at this time, so from 2 to 2:30. I'll talk about a range of issues and challenges related to living with a disability, and just share a bit about how I overcame these and how I continue to overcome them. If you have any questions or comments as we go, feel free to put them on screen and I will see them at the end. And if I can, I'll try and answer them or comment on them later. So, as I said, I'm going to be talking about a range of things over the coming months, which you'll hear about as we go. But today, the first one I'm going to talk about is the design of my avatar that has been designed in the last couple of months for various different reasons, and just talk about how that avatar, it might only be a cartoon or to everybody else, but at the moment that the avatar represents a lot for me, and the avatar and me, I guess, are going on a journey, and I'm just going to tell you a bit about that journey. So if Keith would kindly play a video that I'll then talk about, this will put into perspective how the avatar was designed and why. Thanks, Keith. So I hope you enjoyed watching that video, I'm hopeful that it brought across the message about inclusion and the fact that disability wasn't an option in the Facebook avatar. But I'll take it right back to the beginning of lockdown, and I'm sure as many of you watching this can relate to. When I designed the avatar, it was just a way of passing 10 minutes in lockdown, because I was getting to the stage where you were trying to find things to even like just pass the shortest amount of time. So to be honest with you, I didn't even think about the fact that it couldn't add a wheelchair at first. I was just kind of more I was more pleased that I could actually pick my pink hair, to be honest, because that is very rarely an option to do, because my hair is not actually a normal colour, if you want to see it like that. But so I designed the avatar, and I was able to pick my pink hair, and I was able to put my glasses, the colour I actually do have glasses in that colour, and I was able to pick like facial features that resembled mine in cartoon form. But it was only after a conversation with Alistair, who some of you may know and who I know is watching, when he actually asked me why I didn't add a wheelchair, and I said, well, because it wasn't an option, and that very quickly led to some discussion about why wasn't a wheelchair an option, and if, as you've seen in the video, inclusion hasn't been low. There's options for representations of sexuality and different ethnicities and different cultures, but there isn't a option to add a wheelchair. I don't think it was a conscious decision by Facebook to exclude disability. I just think it's been an oversight, and probably in the year 2020, a really bad oversight, but I don't think it's been a conscious decision to cause offence. But however, after discussing it further with Alistair, we decided that if we produced a video, it would highlight this misrepresentation, and so we did. So Alistair used a software called Doodly, and that's the video that you've just viewed. And in that, he was able to add the avatar face that I designed to a wheelchair that you could use from Doodly, and that is how we've got the avatar that I have now. But I think it's important to highlight that in Facebook's existing options, as it said in the video, there's like 10 body shapes, 17 eyebrow shapes, and 20 lipstick shade colours that you can actually pick from. But there isn't an option to include a wheelchair or any other disability for that matter. You might want to add crutches or anything, but that's not an option. And I think it's further highlighted by the fact that you can add props like a buggy or anything, so you could put your adult avatar in a buggy if you wanted. Can't think of a reason why you would actually want to do that, but if you wanted to, you could. And I think that puts into perspective again the fact that you can't add the wheelchair. So when this video was put together, Keith and Alistair previewed it on In Control's webinar Wednesday a few weeks ago, and it's also available on In Control's YouTube channel and on my YouTube channel, which is just Danielle Farrel. So you're able to view that video again through those options, or sort of other vlogs that I'm doing at the minute, which also feature my avatar, alongside various topics such as no offence taken and other things around accessing health services and just various topics like that. So you're able to see them, and they all include the avatar now. Because this was, as I said, it began as something that I did in lockdown just to pass 10 minutes. But in the last 17, 18 weeks, however long we've been in lockdown, the avatars came on a bit of a journey and with me, and I suppose the biggest change has now become the logo of Your Options Understood. And for anybody watching who doesn't know what I do, I am the managing director of Your Options Understood, which is a community and press company that provides a range of services for people with disabilities and those that support them. So I do a range of services such as advocacy, staff training, person-centred planning support, and I'm now most recently working on some services to develop in relation to responding to COVID-19. And trying to get some services available online. So the avatar is now Your Options Understood logo. So it's gone from a pointy finger, which was grey, because the colours of the branding of my business are pink and grey for obvious reasons. As you can see, I quite like the colour pink and purple as the banner down below shows. So purple was because that was the colour of the flyer, but that's because as well it's one of the colours I would probably wear or wear or use. So in the last, alongside the new logo, Your Options Understood has also launched a new website this during lockdown. To be fair, as I'm sure many businesses out there, I wasn't sure the route Your Options Understood would take during lockdown, and it's been a very unpredictable journey, and I don't think it's finished yet, which is fine. I'm ready to embrace that. But yeah, so the website is there, which Alistair again kindly helped me launch. What can I say about the new website? It's very pink. It's very me. I think there's a lot of Your Options Understood and Danielle on there. I think, well, I know that Danielle is Your Options Understood, and it's quite important that both of those elements are on there. And so they are, and now so is the avatar. The only thing being that, and I even mentioned this briefly before we came on live today. The only thing being, I can't change the colour of my hair on the avatar, so if that's the case, I might need to stay pink for a while, or alternate between pink and purple. I don't know But I always, it doesn't matter what colour my hair is, I always seem to go back to pink at some point. So it shouldn't be a problem. But as I said, the journey that I've been on and still on during lockdown was a unexpected journey, and it's been quite a challenging journey. Lockdown for everybody individually and professionally has been a challenging one. But for me, I was put in the position where I actually realised that people made assumptions about me and your options understood and our future without actually speaking to me. So it was decided by some people that they would have thought my they would, after quite some time it was brought to my attention that some people were surprised I was still working. To me, to say that they were surprised that I'm still working, and just purely because of previous things that had also happened in the lead up to it, like I tried to get my old website taken down, which I didn't have control over. Website designers had control over it, and they responded in such a way that made it very challenging. It is down now, thankfully, and people can only see my new website or use new website. But through having those conversations and having to deal with those people's reactions of, it was kind of like, oh my god, Danielle has found a voice. I've always thought that Danielle actually had a voice, and I do. And obviously, in the work that I do, I have a voice for other people. But I guess some people that have been involved in the last few months just thought that Danielle would kind of go along with it. And to be fair, I've since realised through the support of various people in the last few months that people had taken advantage of that, and I was probably a bit naive, to be fair, and I kind of went on with it. But now I've had to, I guess, as we all have to do in life sometimes, I've had to learn the hard way. And now, although some of the issues still remain unresolved, they're slowly getting there. But to get them resolved, I had to get some support of outside parties. And I know there's in situations there are people in authority that can help you deal with these situations. And I know for a lot of you watching, you'll be able to empathise with that. A whole prospect of having to get people in authority to come and speak on your behalf. And I have done that in the past, and I unfortunately had to do that in this situation. But it kind of it makes me frustrated sometimes, which I'm sure some of you can relate to, that you actually have to go to these lengths to get the simplest of tasks taken care of. Because once I did that, the task I was actually asking to be taken care of was done within days, whereas it'd be taking me weeks to even get somebody to respond to me. And for me, I think I often wonder what would have happened if the world hadn't gone into lockdown, and where I would be with my business if that wasn't the case. Because some unexpected and exciting opportunities such as Tuesday Talks being Danielle have came up, and some others that I'm working on at the moment. So I suppose the world works in mysterious ways, and COVID, there's no going away from the fact that COVID-19 is and has been a horrendous experience for everybody around the world. But for me, it's been a very unexpected experience, and I'm just really thankful that if I didn't have the support of people that I either knew before lockdown, met during lockdown, or just before lockdown, it would be a very different experience for me. Um, so so Europe and understood has been able through some funding to be able to purchase some of the software, such as the digital software that was used to create the avatar. And through that as well, I'm going to be using it to help me design some e-learning um, material, which I hope that it can be accessed through a platform once it's up and running. And I hope that by doing that, organisations and individuals will be able to access that material and be able to benefit from the fact that I've designed that material from a personal experience. And I've also been doing some work as well as being Danielle with In Control Scotland, and I'm hopefully going to be doing some work with another support provider, Partners for Inclusion, in the coming months. So yeah, and I hope that once e-learning platforms live, it also opens up other opportunities. And also I supported a young individual to have his support plan, his not even support plan, sorry, person centered plan. Um, designed for him. I facilitated that conversation with some colleagues, graphic that for him. So that's another service that I'm hoping to provide and build on in the next few months. Um, I'm also in the process of ordering new new merchandise, so like business cards, pens, pin badges, all of which will have the avatar on it as the new logo, and a combination of pink and grey. So all of those kind of things will be available quite soon, and they'll have the new website address on it as well for anybody who doesn't know it already. And it'll have the important abbreviation of the logo, which is YOU, because I still, regardless of the old or new logo, I want that to still be there, because the U part is so important for me, because I want the individuals that I know that I know and support to know that the support that Europe's Understood provides is all about them. But I hope with the development of the logo and the new things that I have in the pipeline, I hope it started to sort of illustrate the message that came off of the video about the avatar, which is um, in 2020 we shouldn't have to tolerate exclusion, and it should all be about inclusion. Because we've moved on so far in terms of inclusion for people with disabilities, but it just illustrates that we've got so much more work to do, and whether it's illustrated through cartoon format or any other format, it just it doesn't matter. It just illustrates that we have come so far, but we all need to do our bit now to keep that momentum going. Yeah, and I just think that is probably the most important message I would take away from. I would hope that anybody watching would take away from today. Designing the avatar was just the start, but it's going on a journey with me, and as I've said, the journey isn't finished yet. And I don't think I actually want it to come to an abrupt end. I think it needs to be a continuous journey, and one that I hope myself and the people I meet along the way benefit from. And so I think when when I look back on lockdown in the last few weeks, and when I look back on the prospect and the opinion that people had of me and the future of the business, it's actually I've had quite a few different emotions about it, but I've came to realise that in the last few weeks and months, I've achieved quite quite a lot I wasn't expecting to achieve. So I think somewhere in there I need to sort of be proud of myself, um, because it's been the exact opposite of what some people expected. And I think it just had although this is my experience of what I'm experiencing now, I'm sure many of you watching have had similar experiences, and unfortunately will probably continue to have similar experiences. So I just hope that by sharing this, my journey, my avatar's journey with you, that it shows that regardless of um, how people view you or what they expect of you, that you can always turn it on its head and prove them wrong, I guess. So I'm aware that we're coming to the end of today's slot. So I just like to say thanks for watching, and I look forward to the next month's slot, which I know Keith is going to tell you about, but that will be a different topic entirely. And I just look forward to the future and to the new opportunities.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Danielle. Can you hear me okay now again?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Danielle. There are a couple of questions that are up there on the screen. So the first question was from Alistair, who was asking how you first, when you first discovered it wasn't an option, what was your first reaction?
When what wasn't an option, sorry.
In relation to your avatar and to getting an image that reflects it.
When I first realised it was an option, well, as I said, I really didn't really give it much thought initially, and it wasn't until the conversations with Alistair that I thought, actually, you've got a good point here. And after thinking about it, I thought, you know what, in the year 2020, because when I actually looked into it, the software that Alistair used, the Doodly software, it actually gives you the opportunity to include a boy in an electric or a power wheelchair. And the Doodly software, where the Facebook avatar doesn't even give you the option to use a basic wheelchair. So I think again that just puts it into perspective that one software gives you more than one option, and then another platform hasn't even engaged with it at all. I go back to saying I don't think it was a conscious decision to not include a wheelchair, but however, it was a decision that's been made, and I hope that it's been highlighted.
Okay, thanks. And the only other questions that are there are a question about do you think how you're treated by others has a big impact on how confident you are to challenge other people. So it's just really what that does for your confidence. And then we're also asking about what, and you probably answered this actually after this went up, which is, are there any other things that you think you might use the avatar for?
Yeah, well, as I've said, the avatar is coming with me wherever I go right now. Yeah, it's going to be used for a lot of different materials and on a lot of different materials, and going forward it will be used because, as I say, it's now your business's logo. So yeah, its journey and my journey isn't over yet. And I don't think it will be for a long time, and I don't want it to be. But in terms of confidence, yeah, I'll take it from my perspective, and then from the perspective of supporting other people. It did, what I've experienced in the last couple of months, it did knock my confidence, and there was times where I thought, do you know what, is there any value in what I do? But I think it gave me time to reflect and think, well, do you know, that's one person's opinion, or one small group's opinion, if you like, but I've since realised that because of that small opinion, it's also impacted on the opinion other people have of me, because they've been led to this opinion of the other group. So now I'm having to kind of go back and say to those people, well, no, you know what, this is me, not the opinion you had of me before. So it's kind of like, as well, I guess, as well as COVID-19 recovery, it's a bit of like Danielle recovery, because I'm having to go back and have those discussions and make people see that actually these people's perceptions are not the right ones. And I've also learned as well that a phrase that I've coined in the last few months is, I need to put my big girl pants on, and that's a phrase that some of you that'll be watching might know, because I know it's a phrase commonly used by some of the people involved in control and partners. But yeah, I definitely have had to learn that I need to do that for myself and for other people, because for the people who I support who need a voice, I need to be that voice, because I had to ask people in authority and people with the right experience to step in on my behalf, and because I was trying to voice, I am able to voice my opinions and my concerns, but even with that, I was coming up against barriers. So I had to get other people to support me to make those opinions heard. So I guess in my professional role, when I support other people, I've now even further recognised the importance of supporting people properly, to have their voices heard, because it's so important. It shouldn't be. It doesn't matter what that individual believes or needs. It's their life. It's what they want to do. It might be not what other people believe. They might have other perceptions of them, but the individual needs to do what they believe. Nobody knows them better than themselves.
Okay, thanks, Danielle. Thanks, Danielle. That's the essence. That's the essence of self-directed support as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, thank you. This was our first of our Tuesday talks, and the first of being Danielle on Tuesday talk. And you will be back on the first Tuesday of next month, first Tuesday of September, which I can't remember what day that would be. Can you remember, Danielle?
I don't know.
No. Okay. Whatever the first Tuesday is in September, it's an early one. It would be the 1st of September.
Yeah.
Here it's the 1st of September. Okay, and yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, and what we're trying to do every month is as we say, this is the very first one that we've done, and we're going to keep them all to about 30 minutes. And we're also going to introduce some other people into these Tuesday talks and other topics at different points throughout the time. So, Danielle, thanks a lot. Thank you for being the very first person doing this.
No problem, and I look forward to next month, where I think I'll be sharing some about what I'm going to be doing for the VR1 Festival.
Excellent. Okay.
So yeah, I look forward to sharing that with you guys. And yeah.
Okay, and if anybody wants to contact Danielle, they can contact through your website, can't they? Which is up there.
Yeah, it's number 1 on Google, so yeah, you can find me there.
Yeah, okay, and they can contact In Control Scotland by just using the info at in-control Scotland if anybody wants to ask any questions of us. Thanks, Danielle. We're going to end the broadcast now.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye.